What if death was only ever a friendly face? This is the Twilight Zone, Season 3, Episode 16, Nothing in the Dark. It begins with an old woman who has spent her life barricaded in fear. Her name is Wanda Dunn, and she believes she has fought 1,000 battles with death and always won. But her battle has really been with shadows of her own imagination. Her dark, condemned basement apartment is not just her home, it is a prison of her own mind. The peeling walls and broken pipes mirror the condemned thought system of the ego. She thinks she is safe by locking the door, but she is only trapped, waiting for an enemy that never truly comes. One morning she hears the cry of a young policeman outside. His name is Harold Beldon, and he pleads for her help, saying he has been shot. Wanda is terrified, for she believes death takes many forms and is always waiting just beyond the door. She hesitates, convinced this could be another disguise of her eternal adversary. But Harold's voice carries gentleness, trust, and authority. He is dressed as a policeman, and that symbol matters. The uniform represents protection and safety, and Wanda projects enough trust onto him to lower her defenses. This is how the Holy Spirit meets the mind, using symbols it already values to invite a shift toward love. She opens the door and touches him, relieved when nothing happens. In her logic, death could not possibly come wearing the face of a kind young man. In metaphysical terms, the moment she extended trust, fear began to dissolve. This is forgiveness, the willingness to see differently. Inside, she confesses her lifelong terror. She recalls how she once saw an old woman on a bus touched by a stranger, and when their fingers brushed, she died instantly. From that day forward, Wanda became convinced that death could wear any face. She claims to have seen him many times, always disguised: soldier, salesman, driver, passerby. Her paranoia is the ego's vigilance, always certain danger is near. So she retreats into isolation, refusing to leave her apartment. She says she would rather live unhappily than not live at all. That is the ego's motto, to cling to misery because joy seems too dangerous. The Course tells us the tiny mad idea never happened. But if separation were real, then death would be real and God would be fallible. That would be terrifying, and Wanda lived her whole life as if it were true. A knock comes at the door. This time it is a building contractor who insists the structure is condemned and will be demolished within the hour. He tells Wanda that everyone else has left and that she must go too. This figure is symbolic. He represents the inevitability of the body's demise. He explains, "I just clear the ground so other people can build." To the ego, this sounds like destruction. But in truth, it is only the clearing of illusion, the removal of what was never real. Death, seen rightly, is not a destroyer but an unveiling. It makes way for the recognition of life that never ends. Wanda resists and turns to Harold for help, but the contractor does not see him. She looks in the mirror and realizes Harold casts no reflection. In that instant she knows, Harold is not a policeman but death itself. She feels tricked, betrayed by her own trust. But Harold smiles gently and explains, "I had to make you trust me to show you I mean you no harm. This is the voice of the Holy Spirit, who must enter through symbols the mind can accept to lead it past fear." Wanda trembles, saying she does not want to die, but Harold extends his hand and reassures her. "There is nothing to fear. What you thought would come as an explosion comes as a whisper. This is the metaphysical key. Death is not real, so there is nothing to fear. What the ego promised as terror, God reveals as nothing. Forgiveness shows that what you thought could kill you never happened at all." Wanda takes his hand, and in an instant she is free. She finds herself standing beside her own body, smiling with relief. There is no fire, no brimstone, no punishment, only the quiet undoing of fear. The body lies still, but Wanda is alive as spirit, walking arm in arm with her companion into the light. Her final smile is the holy instant, the recognition that death never had power over her. She was afraid of nothing, and nothing has no power. There was nothing in the dark that wasn't there when the lights were on. This is forgiveness, discovering that fear was only the absence of light, never the presence of danger. Wanda Dunn is the symbol of a mind finished with its battles. She is done with fear, done with defending, done with the illusion of separation. Her whole life of vigilance was wasted, but in her final moment she discovers she was safe all along. The condemned basement dissolves into sunlight as she steps into freedom. The smile on her face is the acceptance of truth. Nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. And so peace goes with her into the light. Serling closes the tale with these words. There was a woman who lived in the dark, who discovered in the last fragment of her life that there was nothing in the dark that wasn't there when the lights were on. Object lesson for the more frightened among us, in or out of the Twilight Zone. The boogeyman was never there. The fear was empty, and what was waiting beyond the door was only love.